What's up guys, my name is Julie and this is the Curated Curvy, where I bring you along on the journey of me creating the curated wardrobe of my dreams with these two hands. Today I have for you a thrifted fabric haul. I like to source a lot of my fabrics from my local thrift stores. What that means for me is most times I will come across bed sheets more often than raw material, and that is perfectly fine. What I am wearing today is actually the McCall's 7969, and this was made from two thrifted bed sheets that I picked up quite a while ago. Fun fact, or funny story, I was actually shopping in Target this morning and I saw these same exact bed sheets on sale for $29, which is insane because I'm pretty sure I paid $5 for two of them when I sourced these. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so first I have pillowcases. Usually what I like to do with pillowcases is some sort of crop top with a ruffle bottom, and if I have two pillowcases I can do a crop top with a puff sleeve. So this is the fabric. I'm pretty sure it is a polyester. It's kind of silky like, which would be nice going into the fall because, you know, polyester likes to trap in that body heat. This is an example of a top that I made using a pillowcase. This pillowcase actually had a ruffle lace bottom to it, so I just turned that into the bottom. I lined it with some fabric I had in my stash, and it's a super cute, super fun top. So this is probably what that will become, just with puffy sleeves. Alright, so next I have this gingham fabric. I have a little over a yard and almost a half of this fabric, and I'm going to be pretty ambitious with this particular project because I want to use this to make Vogue 9285, which I will pop up there for you. This fabric calls for almost 2 yards of fabric. This pattern, excuse me, calls for almost 2 yards of fabric. I do think, however, that I can pull it off because when I make a shirt, I only make crop shirts. I do not tuck my shirts in, and I do not like them going past my hips. So this top is ultimately going to be cropped, which I think is going to save me a lot in terms of the amount of fabric that I use. So I'm hoping that I can pull it off with this. Alright, next I have these two bed sheets in this really lovely seafoam green. This is 100% cotton. They are in really good condition, and it's more of a thicker, sturdier cotton. So I'm thinking for these two, I am going to do McCall's 6124, which is a shirt dress pattern. It's a collared shirt and shirt dress pattern. I will be doing for this View E, which is the shirt dress. I will probably put some gores in on the side or slash and spread just so that it gives me a little bit more ease because I do not like straight line silhouettes on my body. I think I am better flattered when I have something that flares out a little bit more, but that is the plan for this fabric. Alright, next, this is one of my favorite thrift finds to date, and it's a super like mundane type of pattern. There's nothing like too exciting or too extravagant about it, but it's 100% cotton. It is a Ralph Lauren bed sheet, and it is in a plaid print. The background and the dominant color is this dark olive green, and I love these deep, like dark, moody colors, especially for fall. For a while I couldn't figure out what to do with it. Ultimately, I landed on a super cute vintage pattern that I have for pajamas. So for this, I am going to do View 3, and it is a hot pant, like little hot pants shorts situation with a sleeveless top and a big ruffle collar. I think this would just be super cute. I don't know, we'll see. And I may end up changing my mind. I may not use this for pajamas, but for right now, I think it would be just like a really cute, really comfortable pajama set to have going into the next season. Okay, so next I have for you this bed sheet, and this bed sheet was thrifted. It was for about $5 or $4.99. This I was really precious about because the pattern on it is just so gorgeous, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to make with it. Ultimately, what I decided on was Vogue 8577, and I want to do the longest version sleeveless. I think this would just be really pretty with the giant pockets and the full skirt and the ultimate swooshiness of it all. So I'm really excited about this one. Alright, next I have this cotton bed sheet. Now this is, I'm pretty sure it's a cotton poly blend just because of the drape that it has. It has a little bit of fluidity to it. Do not knock the humble cotton poly blend. There is something about the cotton poly blend that is just light and breathable and airy, and especially for like super hot climates like chef's kiss. With this pattern, I'm going to do a vintage Gunny Sacks pattern. It is Simplicity 8671. I will again pop up a better shot for you. I want to do view one of this with the long sleeves. I may take down the collar a bit because the collar on this is a lot, or I may just leave it and just go all out and be like vintage whatever year this was and not care. So we'll see, but I definitely want to use this. I have again the sheet and 2 pillowcases, and I'm pretty sure it'll be enough to get out this dress pattern. All right, next is this beautiful buttery 100% cotton bed sheet. It is, well, I'm pretty sure it's a king size sheet, and it's just so soft and so stiff, and I think it would be the perfect fall dress for this. I'm still thinking like Gunny Sacks-ish, more Laura Ashley than Gunny Sacks is, because I'm more of a fan of the Laura Ashley silhouette, and so definitely something with puffy sleeves, a basque waist, a long skirt. I have 2 patterns in mind for this. The first one is, I just threw my sheet. Okay, the first one is Simplicity 8502, and it is actually a wedding dress pattern, which I think could easily be adapted for everyday wear. I would take a little bit off of the skirt, and like, I think that with my Doc Martens in the short sleeve V version would just be so good. If not this one, then McCall's 8043, which is a tried and true for me. I have made this dress several times over, and I'll be sure to go ahead and throw those images up there for you to see. This dress is, like I said, it's really cute. It's a tried and true for me, and it comes through every time, and it has those vintage vibes. I don't know if it has the vintage Laura Ashley vibes, because sometimes with Laura Ashley, it was either the fabric or the detail that really made the dress. So we'll see. I'm going back and forth between the 2 of those patterns still for that fabric. Okay, and speaking of Laura Ashley patterns, the other day I was in a thrift store and I came across these 2 quilted pillowcases, and I was super ecstatic to realize that they were Laura Ashley quilted pillowcases. Because it is quilted, the back just has a backing on it, so this alone won't be enough to do like a garment with like a front and a back. Although I'm thinking that I could probably pull off a quilted vest, and I'll throw some images up of what I'm thinking with that. If it does not allow me to, then what I will do is turn this into some sort of accessory. I have a vintage sewing pattern, Simplicity 7004, and they have a quilted bag on here, and I'm positive that it would be enough fabric for that. So if I cannot get the quilted vest that I have in my mind out of that fabric, then I will definitely turn it into a bag. All right, we are getting down to the bottom of the pile here. The next thing I have are, almost dropped something. The next thing I have are these Tommy Hilfiger, or a set of Tommy Hilfiger bed sheets. This is a cotton poly blend, which, as I have mentioned before, I am definitely a fan of. For this dress, I am thinking of the pattern Vogue 9182. Definitely the longest version possible. I also think this would be really fun if I did like a puff sleeve white collar shirt to layer underneath it as it gets cooler, and then once it is warmer again, I can just eliminate the shirt and still have a piece that I can wear through the seasons, because that is something that is becoming increasingly important to me, is having dresses and clothing items that can go further than just your usual one season. Next, I have this lovely vintage bed sheet. I believe it is a queen size flat sheet, and it is just enough to create a really pretty wrap dress. I showed this fabric to my sister when we were on FaceTime, and she was kind of like, yeah, no, but I love it. This gives me, I used to live in your grandma's cottage, and I am not ashamed about it, and I'm all here for that aesthetic, whatever that aesthetic is. For this dress, I am going to do a mashup of 2 patterns, Simplicity 8036 and McCall's 6959. I want to take the top half from McCall's 6959 and the sleeves and the skirt from Simplicity 8036, and I think if I smoosh those together, it will be the perfect wrap dress. I'm actually really excited about that, and it's one of the things that I want to sew up relatively soon. All right, next I just have a basic black 100% cotton flat sheet, and it's going to be turned into McCall's 8320 View C. I'm really excited about this dress pattern, and this is the perfect low risk fabric to try it on, and if it works out, it'll just be a great little black dress to have in my wardrobe to keep in rotation. And lastly, I have this fabric. This was one of the raw cuts of fabric that I picked up. I actually got this fabric for free because I was thrifting out in the next city over, and she only takes cash, and she has a little card reader for her phone, but the card reader wasn't working on that particular day. And since I just had a few pieces of fabric, she was like, don't worry about it, go ahead and take it, for which I am super grateful because I drove 40 minutes out to visit the thrift store and I would have been pretty devastated if I had to leave with nothing. So with this fabric, I am going to use Butterick's new release, 6893. This pattern reminds me a lot of the Rodarte, I hope I'm saying that right, Rodarte dress that was circulating the sewing sphere a lot a few months ago. It very much has that vibe, except it has the flutter sleeves. I'm gonna do this dress as it is. I'll probably just make it a little bit shorter. So that is what this is going to be. Lastly, at that same thrift store where she didn't take a card and she let me leave with a few things I had, I picked up a few notions. So she had this giant spool of white lace, which again I got for free. This smaller spool of some more like ivory toned laces, which again paid nothing for, and then 3 different kinds of ribbons. One I was using to mock up my stays pattern, so it's like all cut and torn, but I'll insert much better shots of it for you. And yeah, that was pretty much it. That's all of the things that I have thrifted so far and the plans that I have for those things. If you stayed this far in the video, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, stay beautiful and make great things. Bye.